The calm caught Viceroy Newt Gunray in the midst of eating, and without the ear-flapped tiara and ornate azure stone collar that made him look like a gesture. "Greetings, Viceroy," Sidious said. The nictitating membranes of the Neimoidian's crimson eyes went into spasm, and his mottled muzzle twitched.
What? This is a secure address. How did you—"
"Don't bother attempting to trace the origin of this communication," Sidious said, while Gunray's tapered grey fingers flew across the keypad of his holotable. "A trace will only lead you in circles and waste what limited time we have."
"How dare you intrude?"
"Recently I sent you a gift, a red-spotted pylite." Gunray stared.
You? You sent it?"
"I trust you had sense enough to have it scanned for monitoring devices." Gunray whirled to look at something off-cam, probably the crested bird itself.
"Of course I did. What was your purpose in sending it?"
His accent elongated the words and softened the T sounds. "Consider it a token of my appreciation for the unrewarded work you have done for the Trade Federation. The Directorate fails to recognize your contributions."
Why are you hiding inside the cowl of your cloak?"
"It is the clothing of my order, Viceroy."
"You are a cleric?"
"Do I seem a holy man to you?" Gunray's expression soured.
"I demand to see your face."
"You have yet to earn the privilege of seeing me."
"Privilege? Who do you think you are?"
"Are you certain you want to know?"
"I demand to know."
Sidious's smile barely escaped the cowl. "Even better, then. I am a Sith Lord." There. I said it. I said it.
"Sith Lord?"
Gunray repeated. The response came from deep inside him, from the center of his true being. "You have permission to refer to me as Darth Sidious."
"I've not heard of Darth Sidious."
"Ah, but now you have. Our partnership is forged." Gunray shook his head.
"I am not looking for a partner."
Sidious showed some of his face. "Don't pretend to be content with your position in the Trade Federation, or that you are without aspirations. We are now partners in the future." Gunray made a hissing sound.
"This is a joke. The Sith have been extinct for 1,000 years.
"That's precisely what the Republic and the Jedi Order would like you to believe. But we never disappeared. Through the centuries we have taken up just causes and revealed ourselves to select beings like yourself." Gunray sat back in his chair.
"I don't understand. Why me?"
"You and I share an avid interest in where the Republic is headed, and I have deemed it time that we begin to work in concert."
"I won't be part of any covert schemes."
"Truly?" Sidious said. "Do you think that out of millions of influential beings, I would choose you without knowing you inside and out? I realize that your voracious desires stem from the cruel conditions of your upbringing, you and your fellow grubs in ruthless competition for limited supplies of fungus. But I understand. We are all shaped by our infantile desires, our longing for affection and attention, our fears of death. And judging by how far you have come, it's clear that you were unrivaled and continue to be. Your years in the Senate, for example, the clandestine meetings in the Klaus building, the Fallen restaurant in the Crimson Corridor, the funds you diverted to Pax Team and Oxmo, the secret dealings with Damask Holdings, the assassination of Vidar Kim.
Enough! Enough! Do you mean to blackmail me?"
Sidious delayed his reply. "Perhaps you didn't hear me when I spoke of a partnership."
"I heard you. Now tell me what you want of me."
"Nothing more than your cooperation. I will bring about great changes for you, and in exchange, you will do the same for me." Gunray looked worried.
"You claim to be a Dark Lord, but how do I know that you are? How do I know you have any ability to help me?
I found you a rare bird.
That hardly validates your claim.
Sidious nodded. I understand your skepticism. I could, of course, demonstrate my powers, but I'm reluctant to convince you in that way. Gunray sniffed.
I haven't time for this.
Is the pilot nearby?
Just behind me,
Gunray allowed. Show me. Gunray widened the scope of the holotable's cams to include the bird, perched in a cage that was little more than a circle of precious metal, crowned with a stasis field generator. I was concerned when I extracted him from the jungle habitat that he would die, Sidious said, and yet he appears to be at home in his new environment.
His song suggests as much.
What if I told you that I could reach across space and time and strangle him where he perches? Gunray was aghast.
You couldn't. I doubt that even a Jedi...
Are you challenging me, Viceroy?
Yes,
he said abruptly, then just as quickly.
No, wait.
Sidious shifted in the chair. You value the bird, this symbol of wealth.
I am the envy of my peers for possessing it.
Would not actual wealth generate even greater envy? Gunray grew flustered.
How can I answer when I know that you might strangle me should I refuse you?
Sidious loosed an elaborate sigh. Partners don't strangle each other, Viceroy. I would prefer to earn your trust. Are you agreeable to that?
I might be.
Then here is my first gift to you. The Trade Federation is going to be betrayed. By Naboo, by the Republic, by the members of the Directorate. Only you can provide the leadership that will be needed to keep the Federation from splintering. But first, we must see to it that you are promoted to the Directorate.
The current Directorate would never welcome a Neimoidian.
Tell me what it would take. Sidious started, then cut himself off. No, never mind. Let me surprise you by arranging a promotion.
You would do that and ask nothing in return?
For the time being. If and when I've earned your full trust, I will expect you to take my suggestions to heart.
I will, Darth Sidious.
Then we will speak again soon. Sidious deactivated the holoprojector and sat in silence. There is a world in the Videnda sector called Dovala, he said to Maul a long moment later. You will not have heard of it, but it is a source of Lomite ore, which is essential to the production of transparasteel. 2 companies, Lomite Limited and Intergalactic Ore, currently control the mining and shipping operations. But for some time, the Trade Federation has had its sights on overseeing Dovala. What is that bidding, Master? Maul asked. For now, only that you acquaint yourself with Dovala, for it may prove the key to ensnaring Gunray in our grasp.